Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is the presentation of our research paper. This is actually a conceptual paper. The title of the paper is Islamic Perspective on Religious Coping and Work. The authors for this particular paper are myself, Khairunneezam Muhammad Nur Syamsul Shifa Mustafa, Mahazan Abdul Muttalib, and Nurul Nadirah Abu Hassan. As the introduction, even though in the 1990s, some of the past researchers, including Park and Falkman, had argued that religion has both belief and motivational concepts or components, and many recent research has discussed the good effect of religious coping, like Accor and Burhanuddin, Pargament, Koenig and Paris, and so on. Among the various determinants of work values, religion remains fairly under-researched. So in Islam, religious coping is not applied only in a grave situation, but also useful for dealing with daily stress. As Allah SWT decreed in the Al-Quran, O mankind, there has come to you a good advice from your Lord. For example, the Quran, ordering all that is good and forbidding all that is evil, and a healing for that, disease of ignorance, doubt, hypocrisy, and differences, and others in your breasts, a guidance and mercy, explaining lawful and unlawful things for the believers. So, in this sense, religiosity also affects different negative feelings toward work, toward workplace, and also family, depending on their level of religious commitment. Thus, it was concluded that religious coping is essential in dealing with stress. So we move to the next part, which is religiosity and religious coping. Religiosity, as we know, refers to the behaviors and attitudes of a person which has with respect to a religion. Religiosity usually assessed by measurable behaviors items such as church attendance, mosque attendance, and then prayers, the reading of sacred texts like Bible, Al-Quran, and so on, and also the attitudes of the believers and the strength of religious beliefs. So religious coping is defined as a set of beliefs and practices of Islamic rituals that are used to minimize the effects of stress. And then religiosity concerns with behavior that one shows with respect to a specific religion, while religious coping is about belief, and then it is about practices of certain religious rituals as a mean to minimize the effects of stress. Religiosity consists of certain practices, and those practices are used to cope with stress. Thus, they refer to the same activities, only that religious coping is focusing more on coping with stressful situation. So religious coping mechanism connotes using rituals, using rites, practices, and certain behavior to cope with stress. It can be as simple as istighfar, or maybe some zikrullah, or taking wudu or ablution, or other means such as sunnah prayer or Al-Quran recitation. Therefore, it is assumed that people with high level of religiosity usually observe religious coping as they always practice religious routines and rituals. And then Muslim perceive work as an obligation. It is a kind of ibadah, moral or religious, and those who do not work would be perceived as not contributing to the ummah, according to some past studies. So since Islam is a religion of brotherhood, one Muslim has an obligation to assist or to help others, particularly other Muslim brother or sister who is in a difficult situation. Therefore, working is looked as a mean to help others. In this realm, those who work would have income, and those with high income can help the poor by giving alms and donation. So this economic system in Islam is a way to help the poor to upgrade their living. Undoubtedly, those who do not contribute to the system is considered as a burden to the ummah. And then if I can go into the next subtopic, which is minimizing conflict. According to Vandello in 2016, in his work, he said that religion shapes one's attitudes and moral judgments, public and private behaviors, and also relationship between women and men. So this is made possible by practicing 5-time prayer a day, from subuh until Isha. So Muslims have a tendency to adopt collective coping strategies, okay, such as seeking social support or turning to family or friends when faced with a stressful life event. Therefore, good relationship with family members, with friends and colleagues at the workplace is actually vital for coping with the stressful situation. So religion is not just an individual belief system. It is also a form of culture that binds people across time and place. Consequently, religious affiliation works to create positive thinking. And according to scholars, those who observe religion calling will appreciate the call to do good to others regardless of their faith. So this could be seen in the verse in Al-Quran as below. Okay, we move to the next part of the paper, which is stress relief. So talking about stress relief, religious coping is a powerful coping strategy that may help or may assist people to cope with the stressful situation. According to Van Praget et al., right, religious coping with which represented by a religious commitment can function as a source of stress relief and stress coping strategy. Okay, so it reduces the emotional distress caused by stressful events of life to make it more bearable, and then it could control the emotion during times of maybe illness, life-changing stages, and difficult circumstances that are out of personal control, right? So Fletcher and Coleman discovered a moderate association between religious coping indexes and also psychological well-being, in which the Iranian Muslims in their studies used to cope with difficult situation. Okay, so I just moved to the conclusion, which we knew that religious coping is not only useful for people that are experiencing trauma and maybe experiencing critical diseases. It can also be practiced for handling with daily stress, actually. So literature from the classical period, as well as the literature from modern day today, acknowledged the importance of religiosity and religious coping in handling stress. So among others, religious coping would exacerbate work motivation, and then it could minimize conflicts among each other at the workplace, as well as relieve one from a stressful situation. In our study, we believe that more research could be conducted to further investigate the effect of religious coping onto other elements of work. Also, we also like to suggest a deeper understanding of which religious coping mechanism is preferable to cope with stress, and it could be examined in the near future. So the findings in this paper, whether this is only a conceptual paper, we believe that the findings in this paper would be useful for individuals, for employees, for leaders in organization, for employer to contemplate possible and suitable coping methods and strategies. So it should be an alternative, or maybe additive to other existing coping methods and strategies that have been exercised beforehand or long time ago. So that's all from all of us. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.